Hey, it's a quick video for subscribers to my newsletter. Crypto is easy. If you're not subscribed, click the link in the description below. Head on over, and if you like what you see, please go ahead and sign up. I wanted to address something that I don't want to, I'm not a FUD guy. I'm never a FUD guy. People are getting a little excited, maybe a little worried, maybe a little exuberant with some of the movements in the market that have happened recently, where, I just put out a weekend update. If you look at the moves since the price movement since early August, it's basically sideways on any longer term price chart. It looks sideways. Within that 20% down, one of the things I've been talking about for a while is not getting too, obviously never getting too far ahead of yourselves, but this idea that if the market plays out now when in the same way it did when you saw very similar on-chain metrics, very similar price movements in price, even some of the trading signals, and I'm not a trader, but just being able to look at the chart and compare it to previous times. And you take all these things into account, as I've been talking about for months now, just following these patterns, these trends, the behaviors that people have with Bitcoin, just kind of stepping back, putting it all together, right? Looking at the flows of money from institutions, using different proxies to kind of understand what's going on. Very, very similar to what we've seen in these previous bull market consolidations. And the most recent situation that was the time frame that I would say is comparable was the end of 2019, beginning of 2020. And long story short, it's these times where you have a lot of strength in the market. There's a lot of behaviors and trends and patterns of behavior and what people do with Bitcoin and certain correlations that suggest that there is a lot of strength, a lot of conviction. There are a lot of people in the market who are really interested in having Bitcoin, not their government's money. And as we know, where Bitcoin goes, so does the rest of the market. So if Bitcoin goes up, apply it to whatever altcoin you're interested in. If Bitcoin goes down, apply it to whatever altcoin you are interested in. If the history plays out today the way it has in the past, twice in 2012 we had these periods of time, 2013, 2015, 2016, 2019, into 2020. We've seen very, very similar circumstances. And if history is our guide, $65,000 getting back to that all-time high, it's realistic to think that'll happen in November. Or really, I guess I'll put it this way. You probably don't want to get the idea that we're going to $100,000 in October, or even to all-time highs in October. While at the same time, let's not worry about every drop. I know it might be a letdown when I say we might not, if history is our guide, look for all-time highs in November, because that's 2 months, 2.5 months almost, that you might have to wait until we get back to all-time highs. In the meantime, we could have very serious drops. 2020, look at March 2020. Now, that was a legit Black Swan event. I don't throw that word around loosely. I don't say it because a lot of people believe it. I say it because when you look at every asset, it's like all the trends get flipped on their head for about 2 months, and then everything goes back to normal, even less than 2 months. And it is purely because of the global financial crisis. People got spooked. But what you saw with crypto is because you had that strong underlying sentiment and those behaviors that showed people really wanted Bitcoin, it was a temporary thing. 2 months later, back to normal. So why can't we do that now? Why can't we have a 50% drop? Well, let's go back to $53,000, which is, that was the most recent local high. Why can't we just dip quick down into the 20,000s, pop back up, and then 2 months later, mid-November, right back where we were, and we're off to the races? That's not even a hypothetical. That is something we've seen before. We've seen that before. We saw that in 2020. Some people would say we saw that at the end of 2018. Crash. Everybody thought, oh, it's over, it's done. Bottom. We had a crash. It was not a black swan. It was just happenstance. These things happen. Shit happens. There were a few things going on there that contributed to just a crash. And we crashed down, low liquidity. And within a few months, back to even. Not just back to even, but we headed up to $14,000 half a year later. So you would have sat through a 50% drop, and within 6 months, you'd be double, maybe triple your money from before the drop. So you get in at 6,000, it drops down to 3,000, and 6 months later, you're at $14,000 worth of Bitcoin. Those are the things that can that's why I don't worry, right? I'm not worried about the market right now. As opposed to earlier this year, when there was nothing below us. There was nothing to keep that market from falling. Now, there's just so much it's not even fundamentals. It's just you see these patterns and behaviors that suggest that people the people in the market have a lot of conviction, as opposed to earlier this year when you saw the exact opposite, which if you were subscribed, you knew that too. And earlier this year, it was so bad that I thought this market was going to peak. Now, it didn't. Fortunately, things cooled off. And I suspect that's because so much smart money saw the same things that I was looking at. But unlike me, they're not looking to build wealth in crypto. They're looking to trade their crypto for more of their government's money. Whereas me, I want the crypto, right? I can get my government's money anytime. I work my butt off to get more government money so I can buy more crypto. That government money, my government is trying its damnedest to make sure that money gets less and less valuable and my labor gets less and less valuable over time. And the work that I put into earning that money, I have to put in more and more and more work over time to earn my government's money. That's what my government tries to do for me. With crypto, I get to flip that on its head, do the exact opposite, build that wealth for my family. But a lot of people, they don't want that. They want more of their government's money. They see crypto as a way to get it very quickly. Those people are largely marginalized in this market. So yeah, prices can drop, but that is just a function of price only represents buyers and sellers. Sometimes sellers sell a lot quickly. There are lots of reasons that this happens, sometimes not even intentionally, and then prices go down. But as long as you have that fundamental strength in the market, it doesn't take long for prices to go up. You don't get those 1, 2 year, 3 year bear markets that people are calling for every time the price dips 1%. That is not a realistic expectation right now. It's also not a realistic expectation to expect that we're going to go, moonshot, supernova, and never crash again. And if history is our guide, yeah, look, check back in 2 months and let's see. Let's see if we're somewhere around our previous all-time high of $65,000. And I think that would be totally unremarkable. In general, I'm still very excited about the market. I don't worry about a thing. If you're subscribed, you know exactly when I will start worrying, and I don't see any of that. So for now, enjoy whatever you can enjoy. Don't stress when it seems stressful. Relax and enjoy the ride.